All right, so today we're talking inner peace.
Inner peace.
Yeah, James Allen's From Passion to Peace.
Oh, cool.
You've climbed a mountain before, right?
Yeah.
Get ready for a different kind of climb.
That's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
Because Alan really presents this whole journey as a climb.
Okay.
From like the murky depths of passion
Uh-huh.
to this like serene peak of peace.
I like it.
Like he's crafting a guidebook
Yeah.
to navigate the terrain of like our inner world.
And we all know those lowlands, right? Where it's like anger and jealousy and just like
all those human things.
Frustration.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of his brilliance is that he makes it relatable.
Okay.
So he lays out these stages,
Mm-hmm.
passion, aspiration, temptation,
Okay.
transmutation, transcendence, beatitude, and then finally, peace.
And those
Okay.
they're not just like these abstract.
No, they're like stepping stones.
Okay.
We can actually use.
So it's not about becoming like an emotionless robot.
No.
Okay.
Think of it as like you,
Uh-huh.
but your inner thermostat is set to serenity
Okay.
instead of chaos.
Gotcha.
It's transforming the quality of your experience.
So let's start with where we are.
Okay.
Those creatures dwelling in the passion zone.
Yes.
He does not sugarcoat it.
No, he does.
Lust, hatred.
He goes there.
It's intense, but
Yeah.
man, is it familiar.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like he wants you to recognize these aren't like external enemies.
It's not my ex.
It's not your ex.
Okay.
These live rent-free in your head, which means you have the power to evict them.
Okay, so no blaming Mercury retrograde.
No more Mercury retrograde.
For my bad mood,
Yeah.
it's about owning those shadows lurking in my mental basement.
Yes, and you know what's even wilder?
What's that?
He says the foundation of like all of that internal struggle
Mm-hmm.
is often plain old ignorance.
Okay.
Not in a judgmental way.
Not that we're stupid.
No.
Okay.
But that we're just like operating from a place of not knowing.
Yeah, like we cling to our limited perspective.
Yes.
Our unseeing eye, as he calls
The
it.
unseeing eye.
Instead of like acknowledging that there might be a bigger picture.
Exactly. And that unseeing eye.
Yeah.
It's fixated on like the temporary material.
Okay.
But the path to peace starts with admitting,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I don't have it all figured out.
So how do we pry open that unseeing eye?
It starts with honest self-assessment, like we talked about.
Okay.
Once you acknowledge that there's more to learn,
Yeah.
that's when aspiration kicks in.
Okay.
And trust me, it feels way better than hanging out with those passion creatures.
So what does aspiration feel like?
Okay, so think of it like this.
Okay.
Remember that moment when you finally break free from a frustrating situation?
Yes.
That feeling of lightness, of possibility?
Totally.
Alan's saying aspiration is like that, but on a soul level.
Okay.
It's like a bird taking flight after being like earthbound for too long.
He doesn't just say desire, though.
Right.
He specifically calls it aspiration.
Yes.
Is that just like semantics or?
No, it's
What's the
huge.
difference?
Desire is passive.
Okay.
Aspiration is active.
What does that look like?
It's about aligning your energy
Okay.
with what you truly want,
Mm-hmm.
not just what your impulses are
Right.
screaming for.
Yeah.
It's about actively seeking out those heavenly things.
Which are?
Righteousness, compassion, kindness.
And he uses this image.
Yes.
He says aspiration unlocks music, poetry, prophecy.
It's beautiful imagery.
How does that actually show up in our lives?
Think about a time you were so absorbed in something you loved
Yeah,
that you lost track of time.
totally.
That's the kind of energy we're talking about.
Okay.
Aspiration is about directing that focus
Mm-hmm.
towards becoming a better version of yourself,
Okay.
towards acts of service, generosity, understanding.
So it's like finding those things that light you up internally,
Yes.
but instead of just feeling good,
Yeah.
they actually fuel your growth. I like that a lot.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
As you start to lean into aspiration, as you climb higher on this mountain,
Yeah.
you inevitably encounter temptation.
Oh.
But before you freak out,
Okay.
it's not a sign you've blown it.
Okay.
It's not a sign you've veered off the path.
Okay.
Think of it more like a signpost,
Mm-hmm.
revealing your weak spots,
Okay.
the areas you still need to work on.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, there's that old habit again, just popping up to say hi.
exactly.
Okay, let's try this a different way this time.
You got it.
Yeah.
Remember, we're talking about a journey here,
Okay.
and every journey has its detours.
Yeah.
The key is learning from those detours
Mm.
and using them to strengthen your resolve.
Okay, so temptation. Yes.
On this climb to inner peace,
Yeah.
This is where the doubt gremlins come out.
Totally.
Like, are you sure you don't want that extra slice of cake?
Exactly. Temptation is tricky like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
It's not a sign you veered off the path.
Okay.
Think of it more like a signpost.
Yeah.
Revealing your weak spots.
Okay.
The areas you still need to work on.
So it's like, oh, okay, there's that old habit again.
Exactly.
Popping up to say hi.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this a different way this time.
You got it?
Okay.
Remember, we're talking about a journey here.
Mm-hmm.
And every journey has its detours.
Right.
The key is learning from those detours.
Okay.
And using them to strengthen your resolve.
Alan uses this image of a spiritual warrior.
Yes.
Navigating this stage.
I love that.
Yeah.
So good. So how do we channel our inner warrior to overcome these tempting detours?
By remembering it's not about like battling the temptation itself.
Okay.
It's about transforming your relationship to it.
So instead of saying no to everything,
Yes.
it's more about understanding why I'm saying yes in the first place. Like, am I actually hungry or am I just bored?
Yes.
Is that new gadget going to bring me lasting joy? Or am I trying to fill a void?
That's it.
Okay.
You're getting it.
Yeah.
It's about becoming more conscious of your choices and choosing to align those choices with your deepest values, with that aspiration for peace you're cultivating.
Okay, so we're aware of our passion creatures.
Yes.
We're cultivating aspiration. We're learning to navigate temptation like a boss. But then things start to sound a bit more intense. With this whole transmutation stage. It's like, we're not just climbing the mountain now. We're straight up alchemying ourselves.
I love that.
Right.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Because that's what transmutation is all about.
Okay.
Taking the raw energy of those passions, those doubly ingrained habits, and consciously transforming them into something stronger.
Okay.
Something more aligned with your highest self.
He even talks about sacrificing long-cherished thoughts and habits here.
Yes.
That can feel daunting.
Yeah.
Like, what if those thoughts and habits are part of my identity?
Sure.
What if I like parts of who I am?
Right.
Even the messy bits?
You're not alone in feeling that. Remember, this isn't about erasing who you are.
Okay.
It's about evolving.
Okay.
It's about trading up.
So how do I actually do that?
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's not a switch you flip overnight.
Okay.
It starts with awareness. Recognizing those thoughts and habits that are no longer serving you.
Okay.
That are keeping you stuck in those chilling swamps of the passion stage.
Right.
Then it's about consciously choosing a different path,
Okay.
a different thought, a different action
Okay.
again and again.
So this transmutation stage is where things get real.
Yes.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
It is.
Where intention meets action.
Yes.
And where we start to see some real transformation happening.
100%. And here's the thing. It can feel challenging at times.
Yeah.
For sure.
Of course.
But Alan is also clear that it's not about deprivation.
Right.
Remember that diamond for coal analogy?
Yeah.
You're exchanging those old patterns for something far more precious.
Right.
Inner peace, lasting joy.
Okay.
A deep sense of fulfillment.
I like it.
That comes from living in alignment with your true self.
Okay, we've tackled those lower slopes.
Yes.
We're getting a handle on our gear.
We are?
Now we're ready to ascend to those higher altitudes.
Yes.
But looking up transcendence and beatitude, those sound almost mystical.
Right.
Less about doing and more about just being.
You're picking up what Alan's putting down.
Yeah.
As you climb higher on this mountain of self-mastery, the terrain shifts. It's less about wrestling with those passion creatures.
Okay.
And more about embodying those divine qualities he keeps highlighting.
We're talking about those qualities like impartiality, kindness, patience.
Yes.
Stuff we usually reserve for greeting cards.
You'd be surprised.
No.
Alan is saying these aren't just lofty ideals.
Okay.
They're the keys, unlocking genuine happiness.
He's not talking about waiting for happiness to show up.
Yeah.
Once we reach some distant peak.
He's saying it's available right here, right now.
Okay.
The catch is...
What's the catch?
It's not found in getting everything you want.
Okay.
But in transforming your relationship to what life throws at you.
So we're not looking for happiness out there in the world. It's more about finding that place of peace within.
Yeah, like imagine this. You're having a tough day. Things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
But instead of like spiraling into frustration, you find that like calm center within.
Okay.
That's the power of cultivating these divine qualities.
It's like that saying, you can't control the waves.
Yes.
But you can learn to surf.
I love that. And Alan takes it a step further.
Does he really?
He says not only can you learn to surf those waves,
okay,
but you can actually become a source of peace.
Wow.
In a world that's often anything but.
So it's not just about reaching that peaceful summit for ourselves.
Right.
It's about sharing that peace with the world.
Yes. Because remember that image of the mountain we started with?
Yeah.
Imagine yourself like standing strong and grounded on that peak.
Okay.
Radiating peace outward.
Okay.
No matter how turbulent things get around you.
But how do we actually do that? It's not like we can just wave a magic wand and make everyone get along.
You're right. It's not about changing the world out there.
Okay.
It's about changing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's about embodying the change we want to see.
Right.
Just like Gandhi said.
But what does that look like in daily life?
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing myself stepping into a heated argument.
Uh-huh.
And instead of firing back,
Yeah.
I'm just like super chill.
Think of it less like being super chill.
Okay.
And more like tapping into a different kind of strength.
Okay.
Alan compares it to like
Okay.
a mighty mountain, unmoved by the turbulent ocean.
Okay.
It's about having this deep inner knowing that you are not defined by the chaos around you.
So it's about cultivating this inner strength, this unshakable core.
Yep. That can weather any storm.
Yes. And it's anything but passive.
Okay.
He describes the triumph of peace as an unassailable silence.
Right.
It's not about forcing change, but about embodying a different way of being so strongly, so authentically that it can't help but ripple outward.
Yeah.
Think about the people in your life who just radiate calmness.
Totally.
Don't you feel a sense of peace just being around them?
It's true. Their energy is contagious.
Exactly. So it's less about preaching peace and more about living it so fully that it becomes this magnetic force.
Okay.
And that's how we start to build that city of peace we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It starts within each of us.
Right.
But it doesn't end there. It expands outward.
Through our words, our actions, our very presence in the world.
It's like that quote, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yes.
It starts with that internal transformation.
Yes.
With conquering those passion creatures and embracing those divine qualities we talked about.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that every interaction, every choice we make is an opportunity to either contribute to the chaos or to become a conduit for peace.
We've covered so much ground today. Journeyed from the depths of passion to the heights of peace.
I've been quite a climb.
And back again armed with practical tools and a whole new perspective on what it means to live a truly peaceful life.
And if there's one thing I hope you take away from Alan's work, it's this. The power to cultivate peace, both within yourself and in the world around you, is entirely within your reach.
I love that.
It starts with a choice, a commitment to embarking on this inner journey and to showing up each day as the peace you wish to see.
That is such a powerful message to end on. And for you, our listener, what resonated most today? Where are you being called to level up, to transmute, to become a beacon of peace in your own unique way? Let this be the start of your climb. We're cheering you on every step of the way.